Greetings world. We are anonymous. It begins with the homeless. Then another group, then another, until, well, just remember Germany. It isn't pretty. According to MSN, the Columbia City Council unanimously approved a plan, creating special police patrols, that would enforce quality of life laws, involving loitering, public urination, and other crimes not necessarily restricted to the homeless population. Those officers would then offer the homeless a choice. Go to jail for their homelessness, or be shuffled to a 240-bed 24-hour shelter on the outskirts of town, which they wouldn't be allowed to easily leave. According to the activist post, the Columbia, South Carolina plan is already complete with an urgent emergency homeless response report. And that report includes information about hauling the homeless away in transport vans to an already stationed shelter with workers, phone number for townspeople, to report the person in need, an officer stationed to control foot traffic, public feeding moved there, more foot patrol officers for the city, to keep out the homeless. Oh, and the homeless can't walk off the premises. If they want to leave, they must get permission, set up an appointment, and be shuttled by a transport van. A patrolman will guard the road leading in, to make sure homeless don't wander off downtown. Ex-prisoners will be shuttled there, unless someone picks them up from the county jail. No foot traffic allowed, only shuttle van arrival. The plan is a city plan, and not a federal government plan. Columbia, South Carolina, decided to rescind its controversial decision to criminalize homelessness after facing major backlash from police, city workers and advocates. Christian Video Channel commented, "First comment, that's how it begins. They start with one city, and with people who can't do anything about it. Obama already passed laws to allow other groups such as indefinite detention, making freedom of speech a felony. The only reason to pass the executive orders listed are to take complete control of a nation. You don't have to be a militant strategist to figure this out. Just have common sense." Second comment, "I just want to say that becoming homeless could happen to any one of us at any time. In this economy especially. So to the people that complain that the homeless are sleeping in your doorways, or you don't want to have to look at them on the street, God forgive you. I pray you never have to experience what they go through." Under the radar from the prying eyes of the public, South Carolina made it legal to get rid of their homeless problem. The people were given a choice, FEMA camps or jail. The irony of it all was this happened right at the 50th anniversary of civil liberties in August. The bad part is different cities from Boston to New York are shipping off their homeless, and no one cares. Is this coming to a town near you? In August, the city of Columbia, South Carolina, had a problem. A festival honoring the 50th anniversary of the civil rights movement was coming to town. They couldn't be seen with all the homeless when guests arrived from all parts of the United States, so the city council held a vote, and made homelessness a crime. That second option isn't jail, mind you, because the homeless are being confined with the help of the local charitable organization. It's charitable incarceration, you see. The homeless can leave, but they need to set up an appointment, and be shuttled by van. Despite some news from the mainstream media and Glenn Beck, it looks like the city went out of their way to begin staffing the 240-bed, 24-hour, razor-wire-topped FEMA camps that was supposed to be used in case of a disaster, according to FEMA. Remember, these areas do not exist according to the news media. However, the FEMA site has the plans and the implementations of them. FEMA has even built them for cities such as Galveston, Houston, New York, Boston, New Orleans, and even Columbia. Strange for areas that don't exist. South Carolina went through with the plans, and they even caught the attention of the ACLU. In order for the homeless to qualify for the temporary shelter, they would have to be one of the first 240 homeless to apply, and wouldn't be able to leave except by shuttle. They even went out of their way to remove some of the benches around the town, so the homeless didn't get comfortable, and a hotline to call if you spotted homeless people for the residents. But this is not the only area making it a crime for being homeless. It turns out that, since 2011, the city of Boston is moving its homeless out of the city into what they call home base, near Salem, away from the city. People in Southern California were getting concerned from homeless disappearing off the streets. Most of the homeless in places like Sacramento are taken and driven out of town in tent cities of their own. They have made it a crime to be homeless, and round them up, and move them there. They are guarded, and people have hotlines to call if they spot a homeless person. They ship them out, and place them in these camps. They are not permitted to leave, and they are not permitted to wander the streets of the bigger cities without a permit. If that is not a determined camp, I don't know what is. They are moving to make it a crime to be homeless in Miami as well. Where are they putting the people from these roundups? The city of Columbia was quick to recant their law at the end of September, but there are several other cities and states that still have not. There are several individuals that have warned people for years that this would happen. If we do not find humanity in our hearts, when does the madness stop? This is almost like the 1940s rounding up of the undesirables, happening right before our very eyes. The only thing different is that this is the United States, and not Germany. Now we have the cutting of EBT and food banks by $5 billion. Unemployment continuing to skyrocket, and over 3.5 million homeless, with the numbers growing daily. We have 18.5 million vacant homes, and homes in Detroit that are being sold for $1, but we can't find places to house people other than FEMA camps. I think we all know what happens from here if we continue to let it. When the people of bigger cities wake up to find that all the homeless have disappeared overnight, you actually know where they are. The question is, are you next? In closing, I want to remind you all that there are 3.5 million homeless in the US, and 18.5 million vacant homes. So, can anyone tell me why do we keep voting, if politicians can never fix any of the real problems of our society? This system is corrupt and obsolete, and it has to go. We are anonymous. We are legion. We will not forgive governments forcing people to become homeless. We will not forget that we can be next to the corrupt governments holding our future from us. You will expect us soon enough.